The October sun dipped low as I pulled my government-issued Dodge Ram into Maple Grove, my neighborhood's quiet streets glowing with amber leaves. I was beat 7 days chasing a fugitive across state lines, as a federal marshal will do that to you. All I wanted was to scoop up my kids, Lily and Sam, from my sister's place and soak in their chatter. Lily, my 8-year-old, was already yammering about her science fair project from the back seat, while 6-year-old Sam piped up about soccer. "Dad, you promised ice cream last time," Lily said, her green eyes her mom's eyes locking onto mine in the rear VYEW mirror. Sam kicked his seat, echoing, "Yeah, Dad, you promised." I glanced at my watch. 4:30 p.m. "All right, quick stop at Daisy's," I said, grinning as I turned toward our favorite ice cream spot, a ritual after my assignments. My wife, gone 2 years now, used to love these detours, and keeping them alive felt like holding on to her. 20 minutes later, with chocolate smeared on Sam's face and Lily guarding her mint chip cone, we rolled onto Cedar Lane. Maple Grove's lawns were pristine, the kind of place you move to for good schools and safe streets, exactly why I'd chosen it 3 years ago as a single dad. The Homeowners Association, or HOA, came with the deal: fussy rules for tidy yards and property values. Annoying, but worth it. As we neared our 2-story home, its gray trim freshly painted after a month-long HOA approval process, I spotted a white SUV parked across from our driveway. A woman in a navy blazer stood beside it, clipboard in hand, talking to a guy next to a tow truck idling like a predator. "Who's that, Dad?" Sam asked, nose pressed to the window, ice cream forgotten. Unease prickled my neck, a cop's instinct honed over 12 years. "Stay put, kids," I said, stepping out into the crisp air. The woman was late 40s, polished, with a Bluetooth earpiece like it was her badge of honor. The tow guy, maybe 30, looked like he'd rather be anywhere else. "Afternoon," I said, hands VY Cybele, a habit from the job. "Something I can help with?" The woman turned, her smile tight. "Are you the owner here?" Her voice dripped with that HOA special mix of superiority and suspicion. "I'm Tom Bradley," I said, not offering my hand. "What's the issue?" She flicked her eyes to her clipboard. "I'm Susan Harper, enforcement chair for Maple Grove HOA. Your vehicle violates our covenants." She pointed at my personal truck, a 2017 Chevy Silverado parked in my driveway while I'd been away. "That's my personal truck," I said, keeping my tone even, aware of Lily and Sam watching from the car. "It's been here a week while I was on assignment." Susan's lips pursed. "Section 7, paragraph C states no commercial or government vehicles can stay in driveways over 12 hours. Your truck's been here 7 days. I glanced at my Silverado, same as half the trucks in the neighborhood. "Ma'am, it's not a government vehicle. It's personal." The tow guy, Chris, shifted, looking uncomfortable. Susan's smile didn't budge. "It has government plates, Mr. Bradley. That qualifies." I took a breath, feeling Lily's eyes on me. "Those are personal plates. I'm a federal employee." Susan nodded at Chris. "Proceed with enforcement." Chris hesitated, but moved toward my truck with a tow hook. Then I heard the car door. "Dad!" Lily's voice shook. "Why are they taking your truck?" Both kids were out now, Sam clutching Lily's hand, his lip trembling. "Back in the car, sweetheart," I said, jaw tightening. Susan stepped forward. "Your father violated HOA rules, dear. There are consequences." My blood heated. "Don't talk to my kids," I said, low and sharp, what my colleagues call my Marshal voice. To Chris, "Sir, do not touch my vehicle." Chris froze, sensing the shift. Susan waved a hand. "Interfere, Mr. Bradley, and we'll add fines." Sam's voice broke through, muffled. "Dad, are they taking our house too?" That hit like a punch. He'd seen an EVY tie-in in some MOVIE, and now his 6-year-old brain was spiraling. "No, buddy, absolutely not," I said, then faced Susan. "You're scaring my children. This stops now." She didn't blink. "Perhaps you should have considered that before breaking rules." Neighbors were peeking out now. Mrs. Callahan on her porch, the Lopezes pausing their yard work. Susan noticed, her voice sharpening. Chris, we don't have all day. Lily darted forward, planting herself between Chris and the truck. Don't take Dad's truck. We just got home. Her cone hit the pavement, mint chip melting into a sad puddle, probably another HOA violation. That was it. I'd tracked killers, faced armed standoffs, missed my kids for a week. Now this clipboard tyrant was terrorizing them over a truck that wasn't even the issue. I gently moved Lily behind me. It's okay, sweetheart. Go with Sam. Then I faced Susan, pulling my credentials from my jacket. I'm Federal Marshal Tom Bradley. That truck is my personal property, not government-issued despite the plates. You're done here. Susan's eyes flicked to my badge, but she recovered fast. A marshal doesn't exempt you from HOA rules. Sam whispered to Lily, loud enough to hear. Dad's gonna arrest the mean lady. I almost smiled. First, I said, you're misapplying a rule to my personal vehicle. Second, state law requires notice before towing. Third, you're distressing my kids after I asked you to stop. I pulled out my phone, opening the camera. I'm documenting this. Leave my property. Take the tow truck. Chris backed off, relieved. Susan clutched her clipboard. This neighborhood's going downhill because of people like you who think rules don't apply. I nodded. Tell your board I said harassment of a federal officer is serious. I'd rather resolve this quietly than escalate. She stormed to her SUV, tossing over her shoulder. This isn't over, Marshal. As she peeled out, I knelt to hug Lily and Sam. Is she coming back, Dad? Sam asked, face buried in my leg. Don't worry, buddy. Nobody's taking anything. Lily's voice was quiet, too wise for her years. She didn't care we were scared. I brushed her hair back. Some folks forget what matters. Let's make pancakes for dinner, yeah? With sprinkles. Sam's eyes lit up. As we headed inside, Mrs. Callahan waved, giving me a subtle nod. The tow truck rumbled away, but I knew Susan wasn't done. The next morning, an email from the Maple Grove HOA board hit my inbox. 3 violations, a due law $1,500 fine, and a disciplinary hearing that evening. By noon, I'd called my supervisor for the afternoon off and met with the VYD Kim, a neighbor and lawyer, over deli sandwiches. Susan's faction wants stricter covenants, he said, wiping mustard from his chin. They're targeting folks like you single parents, government workers don't justify it. That night, I faced the board, Susan smirking from her seat. I laid out my case. The truck wasn't government issued, no legal notice was given, and the rules she cited weren't even ratified. When I offered to play a recording of our encounter, a bluff, Susan flinched. The board dismissed most charges but issued a warning for unprofessional communication. Susan leaned in as I left. Your badge won't save you. People like you don't belong here. Weeks later, a tow driver, Mike, called. Susan's got us watching your house, taking photos. Not just your dozen homes, all government workers. Then Emma, a board member's daughter, slipped me a USB drive. The audio was damning. Susan plotting to restore Maple Grove by driving out undesirables, like me, through fines and harassment. My blood ran cold when she mentioned my kids' vulnerabilities. I rallied neighbors, Mark, a public defender, Rachel, a VA nurse, the VYD. We documented everything: surveillance, fake violation notices, even a false police report Susan filed against me. Officer Dan, responding to her call, admitted she was abusing police resources. At an emergency board meeting, the room packed with angry residents, we played Susan's recording. Her voice echoed. Eventually, he'll realize this place isn't for him. Neighbors erupted, sharing their own stories: fines for wind chimes, chalk drawings. Susan's allies squirmed as the board dissolved her rogue committee, cancelled her fines, and suspended her. She stormed out, vowing to fight, But her resignation came days later when a state inquiry uncovered $12,000 in misspent HOA funds and kickbacks from the tow company. By January, a new board, Rachel as president, Mark as V, passed the Bradley Protocols, ensuring fair rules and transparency. Susan's house sold to a young Navy couple, and the tow trucks vanished. Lily's butterfly garden, once a violation, bloomed in our yard, sparking a neighborhood project. One spring evening, as neighbors laughed in my backyard, kids chasing fireflies, I watched two monarchs dance in Lily's garden. To good neighbors, DVYD toasted, raising his glass. I clinked mine, glancing at Lily, who grinned, dirt smudged on her face. Maple Grove wasn't perfect, but it was homely, a place where fairness, not fear, held sway. No badge needed, just people who cared enough to fight for it.